And we're live. Hello.
Yay.
There it is. It's the Check-In Show, episode 46. Don Zanklin, Mike Gamache, Claudio Capri, and me. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
How's it going? So it's just a group of four friends checking in on each other, seeing how everyone is. Don, I just saw you, it feels like last night, but that turns out that was 2 nights ago.
Yeah, BattleCom. It was pretty fun. It's really nice to be on there. And I was just like, now I'm thinking, what do I do with all my jokes? The jokes I didn't use.
You put them in your little notebook, Don.
I have a big notebook. Thank you.
And then when we go back on stage, you'll say
Twitter. Yeah, Twitter.
And then when you go back on stage, you will say them again.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it's different.
Task writing jokes are task writing. It's like writing for late night TV.
Yeah,
right. The bar is just a little bit lower for where you need to get the funny in.
Yeah.
And so it's one of the things to kind of look at.
Yeah, and the fact that there's jokes in there that you'll probably never use again is sort of like writing jokes for a roast. You know, there's a roast, there's a guest of honor that you're roasting, and you're roasting other comics. Well, you know, often you'll have jokes that will happen just that one time.
We'll see. I'll try to wedge them into different things. But I like the Twitter angle. Yeah. I don't use Twitter very much, so
How's everybody? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah.
I've been cabin fever for
2
days. 2 days. No. Yeah,
2 days. 2 days.
Yeah. 2 days. I've been cabin fever for 2 days.
Have you left your room in those 2 days?
I went to the bathroom and my kitchen. That's about it.
That's about it.
But I've been
Hey sis.
Hello. But I'm going, since we're all stuck home, I'm going to rewatch the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh, that's excellent.
But I have the theatrical version. I don't have the extended version. So,
it's long enough.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have the Hobbits, which gets progressively cartoonish as it goes on.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
Let me tell you something. The books are really good, but then you have the movies, which are like, why, whatever.
Yes, well, they take liberties.
Exactly. But
I have been sort of appeasing myself by listening to the audiobooks of the Wheel of Time series. Mm-hmm. So I'm up to book 7.
I saw the first 3 episodes.
And Don, how have you been?
Not bad. No, it's not bad. Yeah, how about you, Don?
Don's music.
BattleCom.
BattleCom. That was it. That was the big highlight. Yeah. Well, you had a bigger highlight than me, but it's anyway.
Dawn works from home, so she's still, being a productive member of society.
Yeah, my wife works from home. I'm in her office right now, and
okay. I'm currently too stuck at home.
Be safe, sis. Be safe, sis.
Be safe.
Yeah.
But here's
this Omicron is very contagious.
But here's the thing.
Milder. So
yeah.
Well,
I was gonna mention. Yeah, but I was gonna mention, it's also because we also got to play with the not play, but it's also flu season as well.
Yeah.
So you're double stressed, like, oh my God, do I have COVID? Do I have diarrhea? Or do I have COVID symptoms?
And there's also a little sort of like an Uber cold that's running around that the kids are spreading, and of course kids and Christmas and gatherings, of course it spreads. Christmas time is always the time where flu just takes off.
Yeah.
So,
Did I hear that right? Claudio was confused whether or not he had COVID, a cold, or diarrhea.
No, COVID or sick. I just added the diarrhea stuff in there.
Yeah, I was like, where did the diarrhea happen?
Yeah, that's not a symptom of COVID.
Damn it.
You're running from the wrong end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a confusing time. Like a friend of mine again, like he has like he doesn't know if he has COVID or he's just sick. Turns out he just has a regular fever. But he was standing outside when it was minus something.
That has no bearing on getting a fever. A fever is an infection. It's the body's reaction to an infection, and it's not a reaction to cold weather. You don't get a cold by going outside with a wet head of hair.
Exactly.
That's bullshit. That's an old wives' tale that is old for old wives.
Yeah.
But
or old husbands.
Cold can weaken your immunity system.
Yes, it does. It does put it. Yeah, it does
develop the symptoms.
It makes you more vulnerable to it, but it doesn't cause it.
Yeah, there's a correlation. Yeah. Like the old wives knew what the hell they were talking about.
That's sometimes.
But
just people misinterpret.
Yeah. But see, ever since I've been using my insulin, it's like almost a year now. I don't have any symptoms. Everyone's like, "Hey, are you feeling this?" No, I'm just fine. No, everything's okay.
Consider yourself very lucky, my friend.
Yeah,
my niece had a terrible time getting her insulin levels. When she got on insulin, she struggled with it. But of course, then. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, but the complication was she also got pregnant. So it's like, okay, that'll throw everything off too. So,
apparently does.
The hell isn't that needle?
You're trying to figure out your insulin levels. Let's throw pregnancy on
top. 23 blood sugar's 23.5. Why not? Then at the end, everyone.
But she has a wonderful little daughter, beautiful child. So everything is good. She's all well.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But she could have made her life a little bit easier had she not gone for it at that moment.
At least you don't you're at a point where you don't have to wear a patch around your eye.
Yeah.
On your eye, yeah. Patch on your eye.
So I had a little bit of an eventful couple of days because last week on Wednesday, my wife was not feeling great. But on Thursday, she really had a sore throat, had chills, and felt like, and we thought, So we went and got tested. Well, actually, she went and got tested because they wouldn't accept me. She's a healthcare worker, so they tested her. They gave her the PCR test. Perfect. Okay, 3 to 5 days for results. Okay, great. So we spent all weekend isolated. So we didn't go anywhere for Christmas. We didn't do anything for Boxing Day or the day after. And lo and behold, yesterday we got our results. Negative. So we were this is all good, but it was like, whoo. And of course now my wife is a little bit on the freak out side because she's triple vaxxed. My parents are triple vaxxed. Her mother's triple vaxxed. Everybody's got the booster, and the booster's been activated because it's like been more than 7 days and all that stuff. But I'm still waiting on my booster on January 7th. So she thinks I'm very vulnerable. She won't let me out of the house. She's going to be doing grocery shopping instead of me. She's going to be doing things like going to take stuff to her mother instead of me. And she's still working from home. So it's like, okay. So I'm in that situation right now. I'm not isolated because I have COVID, but I'm isolated because I might catch Omicron. So, and I'm going to have to wait till at least like January 7th. So January 14th, at least, until I've got complete booster protection. So fun stuff.
Yeah. There is a number. Yeah. Well, okay. Lisa's agreeing that it's fun stuff, I guess. All right. I said I wasn't gonna, but I am COVID positive.
Okay.
I had one day where I had a bit of a fever, and I've had some coughing.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm fine, and I think it's due to the fact that it's most probably Omicron. I got it at an event where a lot of people got it.
That's
no fault of the event organizers because they were checking the vaccine passports at the door. They were very strict. It's just
but that's the thing about Omicron. It sort of evades even if you're double vaxxed, it sort of like swings around and gets you from behind.
Yeah. So I'm going to be waiting till I can get my third vax, which will be in January as well. But it's I've been very lucky. Some people who were at the event were hit harder. And
nobody hospitalized, I think. I hope.
Not that I'm aware of.
But some people have it really bad. Yeah.
I was at the event with a friend who has MS, and so he's very much at risk.
Yeah.
But I've been checking in with him, and he's been fine. He's had symptoms. He's been coughing.
Let's be positive for that. Let's.
Yep.
Yep.
So I isolated, but I have roommates, and my roommates are now beginning to think they may have symptoms. So hopefully it's just the cold, because I've been very careful. I've been wiping down everything I touch outside of my room, and I've been layering everything in soap, especially like if I cook, I clean up immediately afterwards, and I wipe everything down, and I do all my dishes. I wear my mask in the house because I don't want them to be at risk. And so if they have it, then I don't know what that means for my isolation if I have to keep isolating until they're done. So let's hopefully it doesn't become a spiral, a circle that, one person in the household has it, and so we all have to be isolating. Hi.
Yeah, that's something that not to look forward to. But
all right, so that was our check-in. Everybody's got these grimaces on their faces.
Because I'm hearing all sorts of echoes from you, Claudio and you. Don, can you say something?
Hello?
I'm getting echoes from everybody. I'm going to leave and come back.
Okay. Now, Lisa just said that Nicole and Regine's daughter are positive.
Oh, lovely.
So,
my sister.
This is the beauty of Quebec. You log out, come back in.
I'm going to leave and come back.
Audio. Yeah.
Okay.
So that grimace wasn't for how I am. Everybody just shifts over to the to their left.
It's just hard to kind of say. Well, especially since as you described, there's lots of unknowns. Like it's great that you're feeling better, or that you're not feeling you're not as hard hit. But who knows what happens after your roommates get tested and all of that. So I hope that it's good, better news for all of you. That it's all smoother sailing from here.
Yeah, but we talked a little bit beforehand, and the idea that this could be moving into an endemic is much better, I think.
Well, better is a relative term. It's going to be a sort of like an evolution of the whole thing. From pandemic to endemic becomes from like where it's like it's evolving in the pandemic stage. When it's endemic, it has arrived and is sort of like becoming global. So they say that if Omicron does become the dominant variant, and there are no other variants after it, which let's cross our fingers, if it becomes the dominant variant, then everybody will eventually be exposed to it, vaccinated or unvaccinated.
I think by the endemic, they're gonna come out saying that there's no cure for this. That's what I think. But like, and yes, we are gonna be getting booster shots, but they're like, these booster shots are gonna help you, not prevent it, but
keep you from getting seriously sick and dying.
Absolutely, that's what I think. But,
especially the very vulnerable people.
Absolutely, So I think that's what I watch next year. Well, we have no vaccine. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, well.
We'll see.
I find it interesting how the information seems to be changing.
Because
because I mean, like we were talking about vaccination at first, and my understanding was that the vaccination that we all received protected us against the original strain, never against Delta, never against Omicron, because those are variants. They're different than what we were originally hit with. But everybody, I remember a friend was walking down Elgin Street here in Ottawa, popular bar street. There used to be, Yuck Yucks used to be on that street, before last summer. People were in there standing, no masks. It looked like Valentine's Day bars back in the day when I used to go, and everyone was just packed in. People were like that, not wearing masks, 2-3 weeks ago, because people think that the vaccination gave them some sort of immunity against everything else, which isn't true. No, but like we could still be carrying it, and so it's kind of strange though, because I think the booster just reinforce the original vaccine that we got? It's
Yes,
not a
it's
protection against those other things?
especially if you stay in the same family of vaccine, they say the AstraZeneca provides the best against Omicron. If you've had all along you've had the AstraZeneca. If you have the AstraZeneca with a mix of other things, it helps, but it doesn't give you the same protection as if you had AstraZeneca from the very start. I've had Moderna from the very start. I'm going to have another one, and it's good also, but it's not as good as AstraZeneca.
I have Pfizer.
You have Pfizer?
I have Pfizer, Moderna.
Get 3.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get a Pfizer again.
Okay. I got AstraZeneca, and then I got Pfizer.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. So I would go if I were you, Paul. I'd go back to AstraZeneca if I could. Yeah.
This is here's a question.
Yes.
How on a scale of 1 to 5, just hold up your fingers. Where's your stress level right now with everything? Where's your stress level? So I'll count to 3, and everybody put up their fingers. Okay.
Okay.
A scale 1 to 5, 5 being incredibly stressed. So 1, 2, 3. All right, you guys are less stressed than I am. I'm
okay. Well, you're positive. That's definitely the stress there.
Really
yeah,
scary,
but I mean, I've been stressed through all of this.
Okay.
So
I'm honestly now I am not as stressed as I used to be. For me it's more that it came like this was my Christmas gift. It's like I was out of work 2 days before Christmas. So now, you know, besides finding another job or waiting, I don't know what's going to happen in the new year, but now like I know like all right, so you know what's back to doing things online and being careful when I'm going out here and there. But that's the thing. So now I'm not as stressed as I used to be. So now I could control it. As of before, if you asked this question last pandemic, I would have been like at a 6 or over 5 because I'm like, oh my God, what do I do now? Like now I know how to sort of tackle this problem, but at the same time, I just have a little bit of stress. I'm more frustrated than stressed, if anything.
Yeah.
Well, I think that like for me, I'm sure I'm in some sort of denial because I have a 10-year-old. We're waiting on the Ontario Premier, he keeps doing the same thing, sort of messing with people to kind of tell us that he's going to make an announcement. Like he's announcing that there's going to be an announcement instead of telling us what the hell the announcement is. And he does this all the time. And so what's likely to, if it's going to be the same routine as the last time, he's going to tell us Friday afternoon, and kids are supposed to be starting to come back in some school boards next week. So he's going to tell us Friday afternoon what's going to happen with these kids. And meanwhile, we're told that there's certain masks that aren't effective. We don't all have tests. Testing capacities exhausted, so we can't take them to centers easily. We have a couple of rapid tests left that the kids brought home with them before the school year. So I'm just sort of like expecting shit to hit the fan. Mm-hmm. It's not yet. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm going to panic when I have information. Right. And then in the meantime, most kids in my son's demographic don't have the double vax. They just opened it up in December. So we have to wait, at least in my case, my son's case, 2 more weeks before he's eligible for a second. So he's like going into this uncertain territory, not fully prepared, possibly. Right. So that's terrifying.
Are you willing to keep your kids home from school?
We started talking about it, but the problem is that they made us commit way too early because I'm not sure why. But they made us commit to either in-person schooling or virtual schooling. They don't make it as easy as it was during the pandemic to switch. That doesn't
make any sense.
It absolutely doesn't. And so now it's kind of like, okay, so if we take our kid home, he's not eligible for virtual schooling under what they had earlier, unless they change it. And we're not prepared to homeschool. It's just, we don't have the capacity, we don't have the training. And we just, it's just sort of like being able to decide and trust whether or not, the 10-year-old has the capacity to keep his mask on, be as safe as possible. But they take their masks off to eat lunch. They have to eat lunch at school. The schoolyard who knows what happened.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of uncertainty there. And then, so I think that part is frustrating, but it's still familiar. So I think that's where my 3 is. So like a lot of denial, a lot of sort of like, okay, we've been there, we've gotten through it.
Right.
It's not terrifying. But I think if my son got positive, I would have, freak out mommy moment. And because that would be like the worst scenario that I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Claudia.
Okay. Oh no, you sure, Paul? No, just go ahead and I'll chime in after.
No, I said go ahead, Claudia.
Okay, all right. So a friend of mine, he's a teacher, and he just finds the rules for schools are ridiculous. Like in class, and these are secondary 1 and 2 people. This came out of grade 6. He goes, when you're in class, you have to keep on the masks, and when you're in the hallway, in class, that you're allowed to keep your masks off, but in the hallway, you have to keep your masks on. When you're outside, the masks must be, people don't have to wear. The kids don't have to wear the masks. And then when you're doing gym, the masks are off. And my friend's like, "Who's making these rules?"
That sounds insane.
Like, yeah, but my friend's like, he brought this up because either do 100% not putting on the masks or 100% putting on the mask. Like, what is this 50-50 garbage that's going on? In certain part of the school, don't worry, you don't have to keep on the mask, but here, you have to keep on the mask. Like who, and then even this here in Quebec, the education minister, he has COVID as well, and we're like, well, you know what, this is going extremely. And then my friend was saying, like, he's scared, like even in class, like it honestly looks like a jail cell because everyone has these I keep forgetting the name.
Plexiglass.
Thank you. Plexiglasses around them. And then the teacher's like, well, as long as you're sitting down, you're allowed to take your mask off or lower your mask.
Holy shit.
And my friend's like, no, keep your damn masks on.
Lowering the mask is a terrible idea because you're manipulating the mask, which is one of the things you don't want to do. Everything that is inside the mask will end up on your hands. And
5 kids from my friend's school got COVID, and my friend's like, "No, guess have to go to somewhere and get a COVID test." And come on, really? And then yesterday,
there doesn't seem to be anybody who really knows what they're doing.
No,
that's guiding the ship. There's no captain. There's no fucking pilot of the ship.
Legault, did he do is it tonight or was it last night that he was doing another press conference?
He's doing it every few days. It's like the Habs games, like every few days. So the next one's going to be either tomorrow or Friday.
I think it's tomorrow.
But okay. So it was supposed to be him yesterday, but Dubé was just saying useless stuff. I mean, stuff that that doesn't make sense. Then it was before Christmas where he had Arruda, who Legault didn't have the courage himself to say that everything was closed. So he had his best friend Arruda doing everything. So Thursday or Friday is going to be Legault. If it's at 1:00, we are screwed. If it's at 5, we're screwed. We're screwed. I'm trying to be positive.
You're so optimistic, Claudia.
So what difference does the time?
Positivity.
What difference does the time make?
If they do it at 5. They'll spend less time with the press and then they'll go home.
Yeah.
If they do it at 1,
there's a lot of
then they feel like there's
questions.
Yeah. So
they're worried that there's a lot of work to do from what they say.
Yeah. So before Christmas, I was at work and my manager comes up to me. She goes, "Oh, we're closed." I'm like, "Huh?" She goes, "Yeah, no, we're closed." I'm like, "Okay, so when are we open?" No. As of 5:00 today, we're closed. So we had for Spider-Man, it was all sold out. And then we just had to tell people to go online and get a refund because we couldn't give them the refunds. So I was out of there by 7 because I was milking it. And I was just staying there saying we're closed. But that's it. So
you can stream Spider-Man No Way Home from the Cineplex app in Quebec.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Even The Matrix. The Matrix as well. I want to go see The Matrix. Oh man, but there we go. So tomorrow or Friday, I find like Logo has is like an open micer who's ready to try to do comedy. So either it's like, oh my god, he's gonna say the same thing, or he's gonna add some new bits in between his stuff that he's already gonna say. So I'm like, oh man, that's why I don't have I don't watch it myself. I'm like, all right, so what did Logo say? All right, perfect.
Read the summary.
Yeah, exactly. I do that too.
I could do that too, but I'm like, I'm trying to avoid news at all costs, because every time I read news, like I feel like I have to go take a diarrhea. So I'm trying to avoid.
It's the word of the day.
It has become the word of the day.
So I'm trying to.
It flows off the tongue. Well, not off the tongue.
But so I'm trying to avoid all kinds. I'm trying to avoid all kinds of news, like online, like CTV, CT. I'm trying to avoid all that, and
because not paying attention to the news means it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Give me a sec. I'm just gonna be right back.
Okay.
It's, my doctor calling me. I'll be back.
So I thought you needed to run to the washroom with that.
It's the word of the day.
Okay.
We're laughing. We're laughing.
This is taking things to a different tangent. We're losing control there.
Although I'm noticing with my sense of humor, it's gone really, really dark. And I notice. I think that's my reaction to all of.
Yeah, everybody's developing a really big, very very much a focused and acute gallows humor,
Yeah, because I was like a couple of weeks ago, I was working on material to submit to, I guess the first comedy festival I've submitted to, and there was a category that was just sort of like happy, bubbly, and I was like, oh my god, I can't get at that. Like I can do the darker stuff for the other categories, but the other one I was stopped. I thought, holy shit, that's a problem. And I was just like, oh man, that's something to look at.
It's a passing thing. It's gonna.
I hope so.
Yeah. I have a hard time because I consider some of my jokes to be happy, bubbly, but then I realize that there's some darkness in them.
Yeah. It's the juxtaposition that makes the funny. So let's face it. Yeah.
Well, who are you guys familiar with my my spare rib joke?
No,
I think I've heard it twice. Refresh my memory because it doesn't just jump into my mind.
And I'm just gonna mute Claudio so we don't hear his medical thing.
Phone call.
Yeah.
Talking about the diarrhea again. All right, the joke is I don't think any animal considers those ribs spare.
Yeah. The animal kind of wanted to keep them.
It's not like Farmer Brown is walking up to the barn, and out comes Frank the talking pig holding out a tray, go, oh, hey, Farmer Brown, I found these ribs. They're extras.
Exactly. Use them.
Oh, where's Lenny? He's around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere's close. Wink.
Yes. Wink, wink.
I know I'm sort of insinuating that Frank the talking pig has killed Lenny, but why does he have to do that? He's a talking pig, right? He's got to be famous for that. I mean, seriously, he's at least reality TV show.
Is he the one that walks with a limp because you can't eat a pig that talks all at once? So.
But so that joke seems like happy, bubbly, clever.
Yes.
And then turns into murder.
Cannibalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the fun topics. All the fun stuff, yes.
And then I pepper it with puns after that. So
yeah. So the juxtaposition makes for funniness. It's I'm going this way, and all of a sudden, whoops, I went that way. Yeah. Where is Claudio? Do we want to know? Oh my lord. Yeah, actually, Don, to reference what you earlier were talking about the vaccines and how you see that they don't seem to be efficacious against the variants. That's actually the nature of vaccine development. Like even the flu vaccine, the seasonal flu vaccine, they have several strains that they will develop vaccines for, and then they pick the one they think is most likely to be the dominant one.
Yeah,
And
it's always catching up.
they send that one out, and sometimes they guess wrong, and everybody gets the vaccine and gets sick anyways.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But in this case, the argument, there's for me, there's no argument against being vaccinated in the first place, because even something that's kind of close, that's maybe reduces the chances of death.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's all I need to know to be signed up.
I'd rather take the chance that it doesn't work than take the chance that it does work and I don't have it.
Sorry, it does work, and okay, I got.
Yeah, I take more of a chance on it being not as effective as I'm hoping than it being effective and I don't take it because I don't trust it.
Now, the nature of viruses in general is they don't want to really destroy their habitat, which is us.
Yeah.
So the evolution of Omicron to being less lethal,
but more virulent,
and more spreadable.
Yeah, is a natural evolution.
Yeah. Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Interesting. I always forget of viruses as a life form.
They're a very basic life form, but they're everywhere. I mean, human body is full of bacteria and viruses that are beneficial to us that we would actually not survive without. So it's like they're everywhere. But there are those nasty ones that you got to watch out for.
Exactly.
Like polio, and
Yeah.
And,
talking about dark humor.
Yes.
Bill Hicks.
Yes.
I can't get on this humanity's great train. We are a virus in tennis shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Where was that? I think it was. The Matrix.
I'm getting an echo again. I'll leave and come back again. Okay.
Okay. Like Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about humanity as a virus in one of the Matrix ones. But it's interesting. I think whenever
there's something
we
weird.
have conversations about other life forms adapting, I always go to Star Trek. It's like science fiction.
And Claudio's back.
It's alive.
All right.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
No, all is good as long as you're keeping healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dead air. The worst thing for a podcast.
Exactly.
No, we were just talking about Claudia, so when you came back in, we had to shut up, and we haven't changed the subject again.
No, everything.
Did you wipe Claudio?
No, I did.
Oh my God. Okay.
So get the baby wipes. Get the baby wipes. If you get that much of a problem, you want to be tender to the tushy. Just
this has become a reflection on our whole season, our whole year of shows. Claudio leaves and then Claudio comes back.
I actually sort of I like actually like Dawn represents spring.
Yes.
Claudio sort of has like a bit of the fall. I think.
Yeah.
No, I'm fall. Claudio is summer, but it's like that morning haze in the summer.
Yeah.
And the coloration behind Mike seems to be winter. So we have the 4 seasons.
Seasons. Yes.
Exactly.
Shall we play some Vivaldi? Anyway.
I thought we were going to play some of the 4 seasons.
The 4 seasons. Oh, that's even better. Yes. Yeah. So I said I didn't promise to people who were going to be tuning in that we were going to do a year-end wrap-up, but we're sort of like touching bases on stuff that we've been dealing with all year. It's
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. No.
This is the last one.
This is the last one of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll come back in the new year.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Top two from everybody. What is your top two source of entertainment in the past year? We'll do one and then move on to the next person. So Claudio, you're going to go first.
All right, okay.
I know how well you do under pressure, and please don't allow the diarrhea to hit you again.
All right, so so it could be anything, right?
Yeah, the source of entertainment. What is your top one source of entertainment that you saw in the past year?
Can stand-up be my source of entertainment?
Of course.
All right, so stand-up.
Well, pick a comedian then.
Oh my God! Wow, that's.
And think of all the comedians who are here. At least two of which will be pissed with you.
Well, I mean,
not me, because I haven't been on stage since January 2020.
I don't know. This people, like a lot of people. That's it.
Okay, all right, Mike.
Well, actually, one of the highlights of the years was actually getting to go to a comedy show and seeing my friend Claudio up on stage at the Comedy Nest. That was the only time I went to a comedy show at all this year. So that was a highlight. And I guess maybe another highlight of entertainment is
well, no, one. You'll do one. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Dawn.
Oh, I think the highlight. I'll go with a live stand-up. Performing at Yuck Yucks in front of a live audience the very last time, because it was the first time I brought the most people that I've ever brought to a show by accident, and they were unrelated to each other. So they were all people who independently said they were going to come, that weren't other comics. They were actual real audience members. And I just kind of realized, oh, people are following. And if I tell them I'm doing stand-up, they will come and see me. So it was really cool to see. Yes, it was really cool. Like, I think there were 10 people, but it was just really like they kind of came over at different points. And some of these were people I hadn't seen in person since before the pandemic. So it was really touching. But I was less impressed with the fact that my stupid phone camera failed, and another comic, the amazing Janelle Niles, recorded a lot of my sets, including jokes I had just used for the first time, decided on stage at that moment to use, which was really fun. I love when that happens, where it's sort of like, I'm just going to do this and kind of go with the flow. So all of those things happened that last time, and it was awesome.
Great.
All right. I was, when I asked the question, I was immediately thinking of all the wonderful shows and series that have come out. I'm going to have to say the experience of doing vaudeville, hosting it. There were so many fantastic acts that I saw this year. Heather Ragnar's is always a treat. Alison Vonderland, their music is also great. There's just been. It was great to be open for the brief time that we were. Not so brief. Like we were. What was it? August July until
till November.
Till November.
Yeah.
So almost half a year.
Mm-hmm.
And the audiences.
Yeah.
So they really made something of it. And the fact that it sold out for most all the shows, everyone was safe. The bar staff was not required to do it, but they knew everyone's anxiety, so they all showed their Vaxi code, their Vaxi pass, their vaccine status. Because they wanted everyone to feel safe.
Oh,
and
awesome.
We wanted to treat everyone. So kudos to the Wiggle Room.
Very commendable. Very commendable.
And all the acts that went through. It was great. I got to see some of Lucy Gervais' best sets. I've got also Eva Alexo. Did great sets there as well. So Claudio, you're on number 2. What's the other thing? Entertainment you saw.
Just watching comics do like going.
It's the same thing you said last time.
Exactly.
Something new. Something new.
Something new. Oh, I went to go see The Many Saints of Newark as a source of entertainment. I saw Dune. Dune was my last film I went to go see in theaters, and it was great.
And the last one is the greatest one. Okay. All right.
Exactly.
Mike.
Well, I didn't go out to movies or anything like that, but I did catch a lot of movies on Netflix and on Amazon. A lot of different movies that I had never sort of like not had the time. I found that I was seeking them out because when they did go through the theaters, at the time I didn't make an effort to go and see it. And then I'd heard great things about it, so I checked them out, and some of them were very, very good. Some of them were duds, and which is it's a way of just you do what you can with what you've got. So but there were a few let's say.
Can you pick one to mention?
Can I pick one? One that I thought was really good, but it still was sort of like a little bit disappointing was the Tom Hanks movie.
The last
News?
one.
News of the World.
Oh yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah.
It was really good, but I found that it was just sort of like a little bit lacking in, I don't know. The story was well laid out. Everything, the movie was well acted and great, script and everything, but it just sort of like didn't have. There wasn't an overall sense of, I don't know, coherence maybe, or it seemed a little bit like a bunch of stories cobbled together, and I found it at times it was a little bit disjointed, and I don't know, I liked it, but I was left wanting. Let's put it that way. But it was still very.
Alfred Hitchcock said that all great films are. Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3. Are 3 good scenes strung together with a narrative.
That's
okay.
true.
Okay.
Neat.
Well, there were at least 3 good scenes in News of the World, but I don't know. It's as though it was written by 3 different people. Each person wrote a certain part of the movie, and then it felt somewhat cobbled together. And I know it was based on a book, I believe, but it sort of felt like oh, you write this part, you write that part, we'll put it all together and we'll shoot the movie. That's the feeling I got. I still enjoyed the movie, but it was the feeling that this could have been more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dawn.
Well, first I have to say I really like that Alfred Hitchcock quote. I'm gonna be
Yes.
thinking about it the next time I write something.
Let me see if I can get the exact wording.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
be awesome. I think it's going to be a screensaver for a while. I think for me, the source of entertainment, I went old school. This is a year where I had to step away from working on my acting, which I love and I seem to be good at, but I just didn't have the time to do it properly. I had to step away from Toastmasters, public speaking that I was doing, where I was competitive, doing contests and things. So I had to step away from those, but what I gained was more attention for stuff other than stand-up. So storytelling. I'm part of Ottawa Storytellers. I think, I guess one less known secret is that I'm on their board of directors, and I have been, I think this is my 2nd year. So I've been volunteering in the background with a whole bunch of different types of storytelling programming, just kind of giving back to the craft.
Mm-hmm.
But also I'm improving my own skills as a storyteller. One of my favorite local comics, originally from Hamilton, is David Brennan. He's
amazing.
Yeah, he's freaking hilarious. like whether it's like improvised, stand up, skits, but he's also a master storyteller. Like you can go and watch him tell a story, and all of those elements come together. So one of my goals as a performer is to take different types of crafts, put them in my toolbox. And I was just really honored to be able to learn storytelling a little bit better. And I'm going to be in 2022 doing a signature series show with Ottawa storytellers. It's really a big deal because you don't, it's sort of like, it's like, you hone and you work on your performance of your material for weeks, for months. So it's really great that I'm going to be able to do that and learn from master storytellers. But it's been a fantastic place to enjoy community and coming together, several times a month, because they have different shows, and just learn about stories, learn about other people, and really connect and understand them a little bit more. So it just sort of like touches me on as a performer, but also on as a human person on an emotional level, because there's so many ways of connecting with people, understanding where they're coming from. And it reminds me what I like, what's at the heart of all different types of performance, including stand-up. So anyway, it's been a lifeline, because in a year with COVID in it, with lots of things that suck, so many things don't suck, and it's because of that human connection, even virtual. Sorry, that was really
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with having more skills, Don.
True.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think even beyond the skills, it's just being able to see faces. Like I sat in on a children's workshop for storytelling, and these are kids like the same age as my son. My son refused to sign up for it, but these kids engaged and like applying what they've learned to be fantastic tellers of content and performers, maybe future performers. At least one comedian was in there, I'm sure. But it was wonderful to see that spark and that hope despite everything else happening. So yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
So I guess 2021 didn't suck.
Yeah. Hi, Brennan.
I am trying to find that quote. He has said a lot of very witty things.
Does he have an autobiography?
Okay, here it is.
Oh
no, that's not it.
Mike left.
Oh, he's maybe there's.
He's probably getting rid of his echo.
Yeah, I'm having a recurring thing. It's happened 3 times now, so hopefully 3 times is the charm.
Oh, maybe you need to change your earphones.
He's using a smaller device, so it's probably just
it's probably my Wi-Fi or something.
Well, no, it's probably the fact that the device isn't shielded on the inside, so there's bleed over.
Yeah, well, it's not.
All right. Man, he's got so many great.
I know Hitchcock. Yeah, many quotes from Hitchcock.
The one that really got me here, though, is that sort of distracted me. Where'd it go? When an actor comes to me and wants to discuss his character, I say it's in the script. If he says, "But what's my motivation?" I say your salary.
You know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Because James Stewart tend to actually because I was watching a lot of Hitchcock. I rewatched a lot of Hitchcock classic films, and one of them was Vertigo. And then during Vertigo, Hitchcock was always talking to James Stewart about North by Northwest, and James Stewart's like, "Oh my God, I think I'll be in the next Hitchcock movie, right?" But then Vertigo came out, and at the time, it did not do very well in the box office. So then Hitchcock wanted to start this film, right? But James Stewart wanted to start this film at the same time. So Hitchcock did not have the heart to tell James Stewart, "No, I don't want you to be in this next picture." So James Stewart was going to be in a TV movie called Anatomy of a Murder, which is really good. I encourage it. It's on YouTube if you could watch it for free. So then, as soon as James Stewart started that picture, Hitchcock went to Cary Grant and be like, "This is the film that I want you to do." Cary Grant hesitated a bit because it was he thought the character did not suit him, but then at the end, like Hitchcock encouraged him, and
I can't even imagine North by Northwest without Cary Grant in it.
Oh, absolutely, and Cary Grant was actually supposed to, and because here's the thing, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I've been reading some stuff about this. Hitchcock and Grant were supposed to make a James Bond film together. It was supposed to be Cary Grant that was supposed to be James Bond before Sean Connery came in. Because then I think like a few years later, Connery came out with Hitchcock a film called Marnie. Marnie is a really good underrated Hitchcock film with Sean Connery. It's basically like Connery's character interviews, his psychiatrist interviews a woman, and every time she sees the color red, she passes out. So it was an interesting film. So and then there were like a few James Bond references in Marnie, which was really, really well thought of, and it was just beautiful. But all this to say, I don't know how we started off with Hitchcock, but I'm just saying, Hitchcock. I find his films are even the ones that he's done before he moved on to Hollywood. Like The Lodger, Strangers on a Train, To Catch a Spy, Catch a Thief. Those were really good, underrated, and they're all on YouTube. If you just type in Alfred Hitchcock films, you should get like a list of like free Hitchcock films that are there.
I could totally see Cary Grant as James Bond, but only in Casino Royale, the original with David Niven.
Yeah.
Instead of David Niven, I can't see him. I can't see him in any of the action type James Bond stuff.
I mean, oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say, like just like for example, like Pierce Brosnan. Because I find Craig was a better James, in my opinion. Craig was more of an action James Bond, and Brosnan, you could be like, all right, Brosnan, stand there with a gun, pretend you know what you're doing in life, and then there you go. But the same thing with Grant, like Grant wasn't an action connoisseur, which worked in a few Hitchcock films, and then there was another actually the story about Lawrence of Arabia. His daughter became a hitwoman, Domino. Her name is Lawrence. Oh my God! It's
Laurence Olivier.
Yes.
Laurence Olivier.
Yeah, he was in a few Hitchcock films as well, and he was an action star of the time too. So even him, like, he could have been a James Bond character too, But all this to say is, like, going back to what Hitchcock was saying, Hitchcock was ahead of his time. Then you had Jean-Luc Godard, which had Nouveau Cinema, and you're like, what is, like, why? Like, what is this? But yeah. And then I guess Don is hearing the echo as well. But yeah. All right, awkward silence.
No, it's just some noise in the background. I thought, it's gonna be on in the show soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't find the exact quote, but there's so many great quotes. One, film your murders like love scenes.
Yeah.
And film your love scenes like murders.
Yeah. Well, going back to what we were saying about Psycho. Well, I mean, we're not talking about Psycho, but the thing is, coming out of Psycho, which was great in the famous curtain shower scene. You
never see the knife.
Yeah, there was an interview that Francois Truffaut did with Hitchcock, which is like if you could watch this, it is the most awesome comedic thing I've ever seen in my life. It is so funny the way Truffaut's like, so Hitchcock, how did you film the shower scene? You hear Hitchcock going, well, first of all, we used the blood. We had to use chocolate sauce to represent the blood, and then you had I forgot the actress name, and he goes, she was not a typical housewife, so she was, I swear to God, he was saying that she was a prostitute, and prostitutes have to be murdered. I'm like, the way he said murder. And he goes, and then what do prostitutes love the most? big, shiny, sharp objects. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's emphasizing on the S.
I hope someone looked into his criminal background. Because that's really sus.
TP Herman didn't want to work with him ever again after the birds.
Yeah, Tippy had radio shoes.
She was like, he was like, these birds are all the men that you rejected. So you're supposed to be in there, pretend these are the men that love you. And I'm like, oh my god, man, this guy's like, oh, this guy's great. I thought Michael Bay was like, this.
Well, the era. Also, Hitchcock was a little bit deranged. He was a little deranged.
Yeah, and he had tea on set too, which Christopher Nolan said, goes, well, if Hitchcock has tea on set, then so can I. And I'm like, bro, it's tea, anyone can have it. Like you don't see me at a comedy set before going on. So guys, Hitchcock and Nolan had tea. I'm gonna have it too. You're all gonna think, Claudio, I think there's something wrong with you. But did you check out Tenet? I forgot I owned that movie. I'm like, Tenet. It's a good movie. So I guess none of you saw Tenet.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. If I was to mention one thing, like Mandalorian season 2 was great.
Yeah.
The Expanse season 6 has started, and after sort of like the slump of season 5, it seems to be ramping up really good like that. But I think Loki was one of the most surprising pieces of entertainment I saw this year.
You know what? If we're talking about series, for me on Disney Plus, Mandalorian is my favorite so far. Winter Soldier is my second, and then Hawkeye is my third. I enjoyed Hawkeye for how goofy it was, and I'm like, wow, okay, they're going this way. Can't believe they're doing this, which was disappointing, but it was still entertaining. But Mandalorian, I am never now. I think Boba Fett comes out. Now Boba Fett does come out today.
Yesterday I think it came out.
Oh, okay.
29th. Yeah,
today's the 29th.
Oh, today's the 29th.
Today's the 29th.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's going to be something. That's going to be something phenomenal.
So as the year winds down, like we're on 2 days away from now, basically, 2.5 days. As the year winds down, what are we looking maybe forward to the next year? I know somebody pointed out the other way. Was 2022 is
2020.
It's pronounced 2022, as in also.
Honestly, I'm just gonna be patient and wait till everything opens back up and continue doing it, because there's no point in me just being stressed about it. I'm like, now I have to be patient. I have to use the tools that are excessive. But
that's not where my stress was. My stress is that it opened too soon.
Yeah.
And I performed very little in this past year, of Waterville being kind of the exception. And I was very stressed at so many venues to see people not wearing their masks, not, seeing people who work the door joking about not checking everyone's Vaxi Pass, not these things added to my stress.
Yes. And rightfully so. I mean, geez.
I'm gonna. Oh no, sorry. I was gonna add in something which you're gonna say, Paul. I don't know if you're done saying your stuff right now.
Well, add it in. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna agree, and at the same time, not disagree, but I see what you're saying. I get you. But at the same time, there's always that. How can I say it? There's always risk. I could step out the door and be hit by a car. Sure. No,
but the thing is, these things. Like I'm not just responsible for myself. I'm responsible for other people.
Yeah.
And to see so many people who don't seem to have that level of concern for others, is anxiety inducing and frustrating.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And you know what? And again, I might sound like a prick, but I was at the point I was a bit frustrated, but I'm like at the same time because I'm thinking about it because I live alone with my mother. All right, well no, I live with my mother. I don't live alone. Anyways, so but my mother and I were separate. She's downstairs watching television, and I'm always in one of my rooms. So we're very like we're together, but at the same time we are not together.
Yeah.
So when I would let's say I would go to a packed place and I know where they check the passports. I know like for a fact like all right, so you know what she's there and I'm here. And then every time, as Paul mentions, like whenever I would finish my eating dinner, I would always go and clean or wash it and then take my just soap, hot water and soap and just clean everything. So I'm very cautious, So and then if I have to go somewhere, I know I'm gonna do cabin fever for the next 2-3 days, and then after the event, I would do cabin fever again. So
Yeah.
I'm like right now, I'm like, all right, so I get it.
Yeah, but 2-3 days isn't
Isn't
long
gonna
enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Oh yeah. No,
You
you're
need
right.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like
no,
10
you're right.
days.
10 days maximum. Yeah, 10 days minimum. I mean,
Minimum.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot. I mean, like going to shows, being on a show, and finding out there's an anti-vaxxer among the performers.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh my god, that brings you back when so and so had it, and then he goes on stage and he rants for 6 minutes. I was against it. No one laughed. Well, I was laughing with another fellow comic because we found that was so absurd. We're just bursting out laughing because like this guy has courage to say this, but no one was laughing at him. But us, oh, that was great times. That was great times.
all right. Let's wrap this up. Claudio Capri Comedy on Instagram.
Yes.
I am where am I? There I am. There it is to find all the wonderful shows that I'm part of. Don Zanklin Comedy on Instagram. And of course, we cannot forget the fact that Mike Gamache doesn't do social media other than Facebook. Mike.
Oh, it's gonna be called Meta soon, so it's not gonna be called Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Only
So
corporately.
I'm finding I'm looking forward to the new year with somewhat guarded optimism.
Yeah.
But like this past year has disappointed me in so many ways that it's very guarded optimism. But I am hopeful that things will get better. So
I know I've aged.
I honestly thought
since
you said
lockdown?
I have AIDS. I'm like, what? That's why you spoke you said the A word so quickly. I'm like,
no,
wait.
Aged.
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 Agent. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
right,
That
everybody.
we've been at this for over an hour. Dawn
Yes.
is probably missing a meeting at work. Sorry, work. We've kept her.
Yes.
We love our company.
Yes, we just
thanks.
Mike,
can't get enough of
Claudio,
Dawn. Yeah.
Everybody be well. Happy
Yes.
New Year.
Happy
I'll
New Year,
see
everyone.
you in the next year.
Stay
Ciao.